Hi everyone, it's Erin Elam here, and I wanted to take just a minute to kind of give you some basics about animal communication. I know for some people it can be kind of scary because they think it's all woo woo and airy fairy and some kind of magic. It's really not. All of us are born with the ability to communicate telepathically. We are all part of a whole. We are all interconnected, all beings, humans and animals. And we have the ability when we're born to tap into that intuition. What happens is that our society and our culture value intellectual achievement more than we value honoring our intuition. It is a phenomenon that I don't really care for, but it's how we are indoctrinated and how we are taught as children. We're taught to get along, we're taught to get good grades in school, we're taught to work hard and accomplish something, rather than being taught to honor our intuition and honor the thoughts and the feelings that we have. The flip side of that is, I'm sure you know people who have had opportunities in their lives to listen to their intuition. Maybe you know someone who is getting a divorce and said, well, I knew when we got together that it wasn't the right thing, but I did it anyway. Or perhaps you know someone who on 9/11, and there were quite a few of them, woke up that morning and had a feeling that they shouldn't get on those airplanes, and they didn't. Other people probably had that feeling and ignored it and got on those planes. So it's something that we're all born with. It is not any kind of extra special gift. The gift is in practicing and learning the techniques and becoming aware. So that's the first thing that you need to come to understand when you start wanting to communicate with animals is you need to become aware. Aware of your feeling, aware of your senses, aware of your surroundings. If you go into a barn or a person's house that has animals, you can sometimes sense what those animals are going through. For me, if I pull into a barn sometimes, there's so many horses screaming at me that I have to tell them all to be quiet and talk to them one to one. So it is something, it is a gift that you can develop and use, and it's a skill as well as a learned practice to quiet your mind and learn to listen and be aware. We are all connected through energy. This is verifiable through quantum physics that thoughts actually produce vibration energy. And when you think a thought, it actually sends that vibrational energy out into the world. And so thoughts and feelings and senses are out there for people to pick up on if they know what they're doing, if they're tuned in. As a friend of mine says, if they're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. So what we want to do is turn on your awareness, turn on your senses to be able to pick up these energetic thoughts and feelings. So how do animals communicate with us? They do it by and through a lot of means. We can hear thoughts and pick up on words. We can see visions, images, colors. We can actually hear sounds or words or sentences, or we can have a deep sense of knowing about something. I've had people ask me in my lifetime, well, how did you know that that was the right thing to do? I can't explain it. I just knew. And if you doubt what I'm saying, I married my sweet husband after we'd only known each other for 4 months. People thought I was absolutely crazy, that I had lost my mind. People questioned what I was doing. I absolutely knew without a shadow of a doubt that it was the right thing for me to do. And it certainly has been. So you can have a knowing about something. So when animals try to communicate with us, they use all of our senses. Now, animals are just like humans. Certain animals tend to have one preferred method of communication. I think you've probably heard of people learning better through visualization or visuals, seeing a picture. Other people learn auditorily through hearing things. Other people learn kinesthetically, which means that they have to do it. I'm one of those people. I have to do it before I can understand it and learn it and then practice it. Animals are kind of the same way. You know, I'm a talker. People like to talk. Some animals like to talk. Other people are naturally shy and listen. So some animals may not be quite as forthcoming. Some animals will communicate with you through sending you pictures because they're very visual animals. Some animals, it can be kind of hard to get them to talk, particularly animals that have been abused or neglected. They're shut down. They might be in a tremendous amount of pain. So they are shut down, and it can be kind of like pulling teeth to get them to talk. But that's the minority. The majority of animals love to talk to us. They love to communicate with us. They are waiting for their humans to ask them how they feel about things and what they want and what they need. As recently as last week, and this happens all the time, I communicated with a horse for his human, and the human told me a couple of days later that literally as soon as I did the communication session, the horse's behavior changed. He relaxed. He was not as spooky. He seemed to be much more in tune with her. That happens all the time. You know, it's kind of like a person. If a person's got things all bottled up inside, once someone else offers to just sit down and listen to what they have to say, it makes a tremendous difference in that person and how that person feels. So animal communication is not some woo-woo magic witchcraft. It is literally something that we are all born with. We are all born to communicate with one another and with animals telepathically. It is unfortunately a gift that is brainwashed out of us or taught out of us or dishonored out of us throughout our lifetimes. And we have to reclaim it. We have to get it back. We have to quiet our minds and learn to practice listening to the animals and learning to ask the questions and learning to listen for the answers. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to make a series of short videos like this one about different topics, you know, end of life care for animals, death and dying, how animals feel about dying and the death process, how animals mirror us as humans, how animals actually choose us and come to us for certain purposes, you know, how your animal at the end of its life might bring you and introduce you to another animal. I'll address reincarnation. I will address dealing with animals who have been through trauma or shelter animals, foster animals, rescue animals, dealing with behavior problems versus dealing with emotional issues, dealing with the emotional issues in your household and your emotional issues and how that affects your pets. So I'm going to make a series of short videos like this, post them on my website, on the blog, and hopefully this will help you have a better understanding of animal communication and what this is all about. So until next time, tally ho.